Mark Megan's Weekly Roast. Proudly supported by Cialis for Men. Struggling with erectile dysfunction? It's nothing to be ashamed of. Cialis for Men 10mg film-coated tablets, which contains tadalafil, is now available without prescription. Just a quick, discreet chat with your pharmacist, in person or online, can help. Find it at pharmacies nationwide or visit www.cialisformen.ie for more details. To be taken at least 30 minutes prior to anticipated sexual activity. Always read the label.
Welcome back to the Weekly Roast. How's it going, guys? How the hell are you? How are your hearts? And of course, how are your heads? Guys, Mark Megan's Weekly Roast is proudly brought to you by Cialis for Men, helping you get and keep an erection whenever you need it. I am so happy to be working with the brand that will help men, and not just with their erections, but in realising that there is nothing to be embarrassed about. Isn't there not, Karl Dawson?
No, there's not, Mark Megan.
Thank you. Nearly 3 in 10 males have experienced ED, but only 1 in 4 are comfortable discussing it. Let's change that. Cialis for Men is now available without prescription from pharmacies nationwide. All it takes is a quick chat with your pharmacist and you're off to the races, to be taken at least 30 minutes prior to anticipated sexual activity. Contains tadalafil. Always read the label. Ladies and gentlemen, are you able? It's Mr. Karl Dawson sitting down at the table.
Good afternoon. I'm delighted to be here.
It's great to have you back.
We have Michael locked in a closet somewhere.
Michael has been in the closet for a lot longer than this morning, my friend.
No better man to coach him on coming out than myself. But yeah, no, I'm delighted to be here. Can you spell tadalafil?
Tadalafil.
I haven't got a clue whether that's right or wrong.
Let's leave the penises to the intro. Karl Dawson is a frequent contributor to the Weekly Roast. Some of you will remember him from early 2024.
No, last year.
Was it 2025? Producer.
Yeah.
Producer sort of early 2025, but was swept away by 98 FM, and we have not seen nor heard of him since. But he is standing in the shoes of Mr. Mystery Mick today, because Michael's gone away skiing, and he is going to join us as we talk through all of your shite dates. If your sort of Karl Dawson appetite is as unsatiable as I suspect it will be after today's episode, you can go and see him live in the
Axis Theatre.
The Axis Theatre in Ballymun.
14th of February.
For Valentine's night.
It's a perfect night out, and it's me, it's a big band, we're doing a swing to Broadway. So we're not actually swinging, we are singing and swinging. But it's going to be a great night. Me, the band, great songs, and the perfect night out, whether you're going on a date or whether you have people you just want to go out with.
So there you go. Ballymun, Valentine's night, February the 14th, 2026.
And because it's Ballymun, there'll be fireworks regardless.
Fabulous. There'll be gunshot. Well, firework. We said firework. Let's keep it to fireworks.
Now, before we get into this weekly roast, and it's the first time I'm reading these out, so do be kind, I want to ask you, did you have a busy weekend? Were you up to anything?
I did the Olympia Theatre, Karl.
Oh, you just the Olympia Theatre?
Yes,
just the Olympia Theatre.
Just the sold out.
Just a couple of thousand people in the audience. How was it?
Probably, I do just want to say, I know people are probably sick of this because I was waxing lyrical about it on Instagram all weekend. Truly I was actually messaging Mark Feely on the way in.
From Westlife?
Yeah, me just pointing at you like, gay man, good stuff. Speaking of,
we're not all in the club, like he got.
You must know Mark when you're not chatting to Graham Norton. You know what I mean? No, but I was messaging Mark because I would have known him years ago through music, right? And I worked with him in music, but he would have known me when I was like this scared little boy. Do you know what I mean?
You were looking like that.
Very good. He used to raise me up like Cialis for Men. Brilliant. There we go. But I used to be like terrified of effectively being myself or doing anything comedy related, even though I wanted to, and I hated the fact that I wanted to. But
we spoke about this outside about school and stuff.
This is it.
Well, yeah.
When you grow up and you're in a certain environment and it's not necessarily nurtured or encouraged for you to embrace this side of yourself, blah blah blah. Sob story over. The Olympia Theatre was the greatest night of my life. I think both career-wise, of course, it was a massive highlight, selling out the Olympia and performing there. phenomenal. The crowd, the audience were the best I've ever had. I sort of went to different places with the show than I'd, gone with other stuff before. So I took a few chances. They seemed to pay off. I cannot wait to bring this around. Like, I want to get out of Dublin now. I want to get to... there's a number of different sort of towns
some
and
fabulous
cities.
venues around the country.
There really are.
I think as well, people don't realise when you stand on the stage at the Olympia, your vantage point, when you're looking out and you see the three sections, the balcony, the upper circle, and you see all those faces, it hits you in a different way.
It's nothing can prepare you for it, in the sense that, like, I've done different, like I did the Ambassador a couple of nights, obviously did the Black Box in Galway last year, which is big enough, but when you walk out on stage in the Olympia, it is very much, holy fuck, like you do just get that in your stomach. It's sink or swim. Yeah,
you don't realise, I think, how big it is or how impactful it is to you when you step out like that. And it's great though. I mean, I'm delighted you enjoyed it. It looked fantastic.
Well, thank you. No, it was truly one of the greatest nights of my life, and I do just want to say to every single listener, thank you so much for the support over the last few years on the podcast, off the podcast, on Instagram, etc., etc. Thank you so much. And if you want me to bring the House of Loons tour to your town, let me know where you are, because I want to I want to get in the road, and I just want to keep working on the stage stuff, because, to be brutally honest, it's taken me a long time to realise that the happiest I have ever been is when I'm actually on the stage. Yeah. So now I need to fucking double down, lean in, get in and get better and grow and grow and grow. So there you go. Thank you all so much. Now let's hear about, by the way, Mark Megan on Instagram, @MeganMark. If you enjoy the show, send me a message on Instagram. Let me know what you'd like to be roasted next. You've also got Karl Dawson here beside me today, filling in the shoes of our shred lord to the wed lord, Mr. Mystery Mick, who's off doing, off piste.
He's on the piste.
He's on the piste. Right, let's get into bad dates. On Eva, let's go.
Hi Mark, congratulations on your Rosie. I'm currently on a night shift, so only have limited time. So me and this guy were seeing each other for a while at this point, and on this particular night, we'd gone to a concert. We were making our way home when we decided to stop in to the pub for a few drinks, as you do. We're having our drinks, the conversation's flowing, it's all going really well. Then out of nowhere, he stopped me mid-sentence and just said, yeah, all my brothers have managed to find girls who are like 10 out of 10 Italian models. You're all right visually, I suppose, but I just seem to attract these girls that are just that bit bigger.
No, it's just... Firstly, the whole thing about the brothers. Why are you mentioning who your brothers have relations with? And also... Yeah, my brothers, they all have 10 out of 10 Italian models. Can I just put the kitchen sink on it, and the house, and Rosie's education? There is absolutely no singular chance in hell that the three brothers are going out with 10 out of 10 Italian models.
Not a fucking hope.
There's not a fucking hope.
No. Absolutely.
I've been to Italy. I've seen models. There's no chance. But this whole idea...
Why would they be over here? I don't know.
These four beautiful women just happen to be walking through the streets of, Boris and Ossory. Do you know what I mean? Where the three older brothers are there, dicks out the window, waiting. It's just complete and utter insanity. Yeah. And then let's get into it. Let's get into the meat of it, which he evidently did too. I just seem to attract, bigger women.
It's what a ridiculous
walkout.
Yeah, ridiculous. I would have, whatever drink I had in front of him at that point, I would have fucked in his direction, and out the door I would have went.
That is an instant red card. Slapping the face. Well, not slapping the face. We never condone violence in this podcast. Remember that.
Yeah, well, I can say it. I'm from Ballymun. Slapping the face completely.
Okay, on Eva, let's go.
I don't even know where to start. Myself and my friend went out on a double date with two lads. Spent the day getting ready. We met outside the local shop. The guy who was meeting my friend leans in to kiss her, and she vomited on top of him.
Good stuff.
Lovely. Too much woodies and fresh air hit her.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Woodies.
Woodies
must be some form of rural euphemism for Wrigley's, perhaps, or
who knows?
Woodies, Willies.
We'll think on that.
We will.
We'll put a pin in that. He cleaned himself up and he acted like everything was okay. Went to the pub. We had a great time. End of the night came and my friend disappeared with a different lad she met in the pub.
Okay.
But the lad she was meeting with me was so naive, he stayed with me and my lad.
No.
Who got so drunk, he jumped on the table outside the chipper and whipped his dick out and proceeded to slap it across my face, asking me, did I like it?
No, it's assault. oh my God, good God, what is this? This is like a dystopian John B. Keane novel. Do you know what I mean? This is like what this is what the Bird O'Donnell gets up to. Do you know what I mean? After the Bull McCabe has released him from his clutches. This is like, this is the Bird O'Donnell's origin story. This is absolutely the rural perversion. I've never heard anything like it. First things first, okay? They go and meet, the two girls meet the two lads outside the shop for the date. Fine. Not the most romantic place to meet up, but whatever. It is what it is. They meet up outside the shop. Your man goes straight in for the kill, which she then just vomits in his face. At no point then does everybody go, right, this is bananas. We should all leave. Let's go. There's no date. There's no romance in the air. Someone just vomited in somebody else's face. Let's call us to go, right, we go into McCluskey's. Do you know what I mean? We go into O'Doyle's for a pint.
Covered in puke.
Who fancies a swidgo after that? Someone's just got chunky vom in my face. Do you know what I mean? So then they go into the pub, okay? Your man's got vom all down his AirTex. Definitely wearing an AirTex. Blue jeans with a wide boot leg and a pair of base London loafers. Do you know what I mean? So they go into the pub. They start luring into the booze. She gets bored. Is like, no, do you know what? I've gotten sick in his face. I need to get a different type of willy for the evening. So she departs. Your man,
smelling of vomit,
arguably the most optimistic person ever, like more optimistic than Greece post 2008. Like, there is a level of delusion that this guy has, which I can only one day aspire to possess. He's then thinking, right, so she's gotten sick in my face and she's gone away in the pub. She's probably just playing hard to get. That's what these bitches be doing these days. Only joking, by the way. That's a joke about the sort of Stephen Bartlett podcast of late. Nevertheless, she disappears off with a guy. He's then loitering around with his mate who's with the other girl, aka the writer of this letter. Mm-hmm. Then they somehow end up outside the chipper.
Dick slap in the face.
The guy, and by the way, I say this as a recovering alcoholic. There has never been a night when I've thought, you know what? That's the third bottle of wine. Great stuff. I'm going to leap up on a park bench. Do you know what I mean? Whip the little lad out. And then not only whip the little lad out, which is my worst nightmare, taking it in public, I'm going to lean down and whap somebody across the face with it.
Ridiculous. Especially somebody you're on a date with. Anybody, whether it's your mum or a street sweeper or the person doing your accounting, it doesn't matter. Yeah, ridiculous.
Don't hit anybody in the face with your dick. Since the invention of the penis, okay, I can tell you that the penis, it was not designed to be whapped.
Oh, you don't have to tell me what the penis was designed for. I know what the penis was designed for.
Brilliant.
That was not it.
Gay man comedy. Welcome back to the weekly roast. Nevertheless,
went on a date with a guy who used to work in the local Tesco. It was our first date and he dragged me to the Tesco, the shopping centre, to get cheap sweets before, which was grand until we got to pay and he started putting in all these codes to get staff discounts, etc. on the machine. Not the Tesco he worked in. The screen started beeping and a worker came over and gave us an absolute bollocking for using his discount there. The rest wasn't much better. I just wanted to go home, but when we got out to the car afterwards, we'd been snowed in. We were there for hours trying to get home. We can kind of figure out what year that was as well.
Yeah, I'd say 2009, 2010.
Yeah, that big, the beast from the east.
From the east.
There you go. I mean, you should have just taken the sweets and sat in the car, you know.
Sorry, like, clearly there's more going on with this guy.
Maybe he just tried. He was like, I'll get these sweets for nothing, and then it just went off in a bad way.
No, I'd say there's something wrong with them. I'd say there's definitely an unexpected item in the baggage area.
That's very
trying
good.
to tee myself up to that guy. So.
very, very clever.
It's just, though, come on, if you're on a date, I just find, like, fair enough, if he's trying to get a discount or if he needs to get the discount, do that in advance. Cover your bases. Bring the sweets to the date and be like, listen, I've got, hey not little girl, but like, hey girl, I've got some sweets. Do you know what I mean? At least do that.
Yeah. Where do you stand on splitting the bill? Is that something on a date that you would have done on a first date?
Well, I have been on some colourful first dates over the years, particularly in my drinking days. But no, I generally speaking would have. If you're going on a first date, I think the person that initiates the date can be the person to take the bill. It tended to be the fact that, like, in my experience, I was the one that, would have taken care of the bill because I would have one who initiated. Yep. But I do not get into this fucking binary. There's no rules. And I think people that buy into these rules, like, well, it was going perfectly. And then, okay, well, if you're waiting for something minor to like be this like red flag culture and ick culture and stuff. I feel like so much of it's bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trust your instinct. Like be assertive in life, and like if you're meeting somebody, I don't know. I just think this whole like, the rules, don't talk about religion or politics on a first date. Definitely talk about those things.
Yeah, because it figures out if you're going to have a second date.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, anyway.
If I'm having a wonderful date, and obviously don't go on as many dates anymore now that I'm married with a child. Do you know what I mean? But as in, like, if I was on a date with somebody and you got on great, and then you have a second date, and then you have a third date, and then the fourth date, she's like, oh, by the way, if I ever gave birth to a female, she'd have to be thrown over the town walls. I've got this 1980s Shenzhen approach to life. Do you know what I mean? I'd go, well, that's niche. Ni hao. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be like, that is...
That's niche.
That's a real niche thing.
Yeah.
But like, in terms of politics, get it out of the way. I want to talk about politics, talk about religion, talk about these things. These are the important things.
Make a date a forum for debate.
I don't give a fuck if somebody goes, like, I've heard someone saying, oh, he made me get a drink on a first date. Who gives a shit? If you're going out for a few drinks, buy a fucking drink. Don't buy a drink. Stop overthinking. You're looking for problems in the wrong places.
For sure.
Ask him how he voted in the referendum. That's more revelatory. Do you know what I mean? Oh no, it's grand. He bought me 8 Smittix, but he's one of those Roscommon people who thinks gay people shouldn't be allowed to go to school. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember those loons in 2015?
I remember.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the shit that people should be focused on. Not like, oh, we went to see Avatar and he didn't get me a popcorn mega meal. He only got me a few. Cool. You deserve to be single. Going to see Avatar. Going to the cinema on our first date, by the way. A preposterous decision.
We did that when we were kids.
When you're 14 because you want to fondle breast or phallus or balls.
No, I was on the other side at that stage.
Were you?
Yeah, of course I was.
When did you come out?
21. After 2 girlfriends.
Did you?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. There's a whole podcast in that, but let's not get into it now.
We won't.
Yeah, 21. Yeah.
Wow. That's late, is it? Or is it late?
Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, I applaud people who can do it earlier. It was just the right time for me.
Yeah.
I think at that stage when I was 21, but I think these days, I think a lot of people are coming out earlier. And I think people of an older generation are actually coming out now as well.
Which is amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
Could you say that it's almost harder? I mean, not that there's any a scale of gay hardness.
Well,
which is
be careful.
Yeah.
Well, I know a person who came out, was married, had kids, and his ex-wife walked him down the aisle to marry his husband.
That's gorgeous.
And they're great friends. And because they both obviously not living a lie, they both loved each other very much. But I think when they live their truth, it's different altogether. Because she's now happily with somebody, he's now happily with somebody, and they've got a great family.
That's great.
So I think as well, it's all about living your truth and being, invested in who you are.
Yeah, well, that's it. Because, of course, there's obviously other stories where it's like, oh, people have been living a lie, and then unfortunately the truth comes out eventually.
Yeah.
But that's why truth from the start is always the best way to do it. So I've got a list of people in my DMs who haven't come out, and we're just going to read out those names.
Let's do it.
Ross Jones from Moy Ross.
He comes to the meetings. Him and Mark Feely. Yeah, they're always there together.
Oh, fuck. We've got Susan Delargy from East Waterford. Gay. Just me outing people.
Well, Susan just be outside setting up the tent. You know what I mean? She'd be inside,
Anyway, nevertheless, where were we with this? I don't know.
First dates.
On y va.
Right. Third date in Galway. Fell on a Good Friday. When alcohol was legal to be served. Went for dinner, told me to eat up all my vegetables before we were going to leave the restaurant. We went on to an amusement arcade and he wanted to show off how CrossFit was paying off.
Mental.
God. He took a swing at the punching machine and it flung back in his face.
Oh.
Lovely. I look up to see him legging it to the bathroom. He comes back with his front tooth had been chipped in half. Made me wait outside the car while he called his mother to make an emergency dental appointment for the next day. When she asked what happened, he said he chipped his tooth eating a toffee sweet. His mother said, good enough for you after breaking Lent. We never saw each other or spoke again.
Absolutely love it. The levels of Catholicism running rife through his veins.
Love that. There you go.
Phenomenal. So hold on. So first things first, you're on a date with the guy, okay? And he says to you, oh yeah, do you fancy going to an amusement park? Nope. No, because I'm not 7. Thank you very much. I wouldn't mind going for a walk or a beverage or to a restaurant. I do not want to go to an amusement park because I'm not a fucking carny. You know what I mean?
Well, if it was Funderland at Christmas.
Funderland at Christmas?
Yeah.
The only reason why they called the rides in Funderland the Magic Mouse is because they deemed it to be too inappropriate to call it the Heroin Rat.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that brings me back.
When we were kids, right, scumbags used to go to Funderland to give themselves I'm fucking this joke so badly. When we were teenagers growing up in Dublin 4, scumbags used to go to Funderland to scare themselves by riding the roller coasters. We used to go to Funderland to scare ourselves by riding the scumbags. No, that's not the great. Not my best. Did you ever go? We were big Funderland heads as kids.
I did go to Funderland, yes, but probably not. I did go a couple of times.
In terms of health and safety, up there with manufacturing plants in Chernobyl circa 73.
Back in the day, for sure.
Rufus, some kids just gotten sick. Will I clean it up? Put a load of sawdust down. But that won't get rid of the problem. Yeah, but it just means, do you know what? Like, that's the way I treated my mental health for 2 decades. Just like,
throw blanket on it.
Throw loads of shit on it. People will still stand in it. Do you know what I mean? Candy floss, by the way. What the once you're eating candy floss, it's over.
So, will you ever bring Rosie to an amusement park?
No.
Never?
No, absolutely not.
No candy floss in Rosie's future?
Candy floss for me that's the forfeit.
Okay.
You've given up on life. When you're consuming, I would sooner, I'm talking crack pipe under a shop stairs.
Sometimes you just got to give them some candy floss, Mark.
Man, candy floss is like drinking 17 gallons of Sunny Delight. You would have to get your nipple amputated afterwards, given the amount of sugar. Candy floss, there's no enjoyment. I've got sticky mitts. I've got fucking slop all over my mouth. The fleeting pleasure of chewing candy floss lasts for about 4 seconds, and then it's like, good stuff. I feel like I've just filleted a diabetic at a post-seizure, sugar-induced seizing diabetic's phallus because my teeth are glued together. Candy floss is I've always said this. Churros, by the way, and candy floss, they are the end. They are the end. They are the darkness at the end of the tunnel of gluttony.
She has so many lovely birthday parties to look forward to with carrots and hummus and...
Oh no, she won't be that.
Healthy things.
She'll be allowed chocolate and stuff.
What, like 1 square?
No, I'll go to town. Also, you can't... chocolate isn't nice anymore because the palm oil. Shut the fuck up. It's lovely.
Work colleague was really quiet on the Monday, and he proceeded to tell me that he had a date with a girl from a different county. So went to stay at hers and they went out. She proceeded to get drunk and went to the toilet but never returned. He was ringing her phone, nothing. So he got a taxi back to hers in the countryside and waited outside. She rocks up with another lad. He had to sleep in the spare room and hear them having sex. Then the following morning had to go and knock on her bedroom door for his clothes he had changed before he went out in there.
That's the grimmest thing ever.
That's insane.
This is like, whenever that term cook that you see doing the rounds on the internet?
Vaguely.
I feel like that's the origin story of a cook. I think a cook is somebody who's like, it's one of those words that the horrible men on the internet who are complete and utter imbeciles and have just like, yogurt instead of a working frontal lobe. They just like get into a room with other men and talk about women in terms of like, Okay, so just go back to this one for a second. So the guy meets a girl.
Yeah.
Goes
back to her house.
Goes back to her house, but it goes on a first date, arranges to change. Oh, will I come over to your house to get changed? No, you won't, because we're over the age of, do you know what I mean? Sorry? Why would you come to my house to get changed? Why don't we just meet up fully clad in the venue? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, no, I'll come over to yours and the O'Neills and whatever, and I'll just leave a bag. I'll bring a Dunn's bag. I'll put the clothes in them.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The romance isn't off to a great start. So he goes over to this girl's gaff to change his clothes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's like walking around her hallway in socks. It's already just I feel like you're not sending off the right signals.
No, not at that level. Although she didn't send off good signals at the end either.
So then they go out on the date. She disappears on the date, and he's like, okay, right, this isn't great. Eventually, he, in resignation, this is when it gets really bittersweet. So not even bittersweet, just bitter and depressing. He then goes, right, fuck this is depressing. I'm going to go home to her house because I have a bag of boxers. Do you know what I mean? A la a sort of cartoonish vagabond, with the stick and the bandana at the end of it.
Got to go back and get my toothbrush.
I've got to go get my Tesco bag for life that's filled with an optimistic packet of Johnnies that I've used my staff discount for in Bloomfields in Dunleary. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bloomfields, rather. And then, so he arrives back, sits outside the country house, and then she eventually gets home with another guy. I want to know what the interaction was like then. How are you, Elizabeth?
Hi. This is Ludwig.
Could you imagine?
He just moved here from Poland 2 years ago, and you're like,
great. Why is we're on a date?
Me and Ludwig are just going to go inside for a second.
He's here to fix the sink.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then in he goes, and he gets. It's just.
I mean, at what point does your self-respect take over and you say to yourself, do you know what, I'm going to go book a hotel tonight, or I'm just going to leave, and get a taxi somewhere, or go and sleep in your car, or do something other than that?
As soon as she's gone from in the venue, you just say it's over.
Yeah.
You send a text and go, I'm out of here.
Sacrifice
Peace.
the boxers.
Done.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, on y va, let's go.
Hi, Mark. It's not specifically a date, but I was seeing a guy for a while who was heading to Ibiza on a lad's holiday the next day and forgot to get the back, sack and crack wax. That in itself should have been a red flag for me.
No.
Anyway, he asked me if I would veet him, which I did. Stupid, I know. I was such a pushover back then. Popped the cream on him anyway and didn't... Oh, sorry. This is just... Popped the cream on him anyway, and didn't the prick forget it was on, and proceeded to throw his naked self down on my bed, left his rotten pubes all over my bed sheets.
Oh.
Pity the cream didn't burn the whole raw off from the dirty article.
Dirty article is the greatest insult. I'm bringing dirty article back. I'm going to start calling people dirty articles in 2026.
I think it's a good one, but I mean...
But hold on.
Like,
when she's like, the first red flag was that he had forgotten to get his back, sack and fucking crack waxed. What the hell is this? Who was doing that?
So, second red flag as well is that why would he want to do that when he was going on a lad's holiday?
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
Is in what's this idea? Like, what sort of 23-year-old Essex pervert were you going on a date with? What men doing the back wax and sack, all that shite, is nonsense.
Yeah.
The whole just like full body hair removal thing is complete nonsense. I absolutely am anti that.
Okay, so you're a hairy animal.
Well, it's not that I'm a hairy animal. I groom and I maintain.
You do.
But I don't buy into this whole just like stripping men and women. I just think it's complete nonsense. And I really don't buy into it because I feel like it is one of those, not like I get conspiratorial about it.
We're not meant to be like a Persian cat.
But we're not. It's also like, why are we chasing a youth that is prepubescent?
Yeah.
It's just like, the big questions we should be asking is, how come like schoolgirl is a sexy fucking costume?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
What's
don't
that
find
about?
it attractive at all.
Oh, I'm a sexy schoolgirl. No, not interested.
Yeah.
Nurse, not interested. Do you know what I mean?
None.
Yeah, sexy none, I'm all over that, yeah. But like,
Get into the habit, like.
no, I'm not into this. And then if a man asking her she's seeing him, do you want to wax my sack? No. Do you want to wax my crack? No. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know.
The crack, by the way, what are you doing with your crack that you feel like it needs to be waxed?
Yeah, go and get it bleached. Don't be an animal.
That's I don't know. It's all just completely insane. And sorry, he forgets. Just get rid of him. Get rid of this guy. It's over. Like.
Well, I mean, she did it. Do you know, like, so I think the both of them are in it, in fairness.
As somebody who recently got waxed, listeners of the podcast will know, I would just not be signing up for a random punter to be waxing my... Also, let's just think about the angle one would have to lie in order for her to... I'm married to my wife, right? And I love her and we've had a child together. I do not know her intimately enough yet wherein I want to lie in a position that she can wax my crack.
Yeah, there's no way that can look attractive.
There's no angle. No. There is no angle in which I want Darren to be staring at my undercarriage going, yeah, I'll just lay it like, good luck.
Look, I married that asshole.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure she says that often, but like not in the context of my actual derriere.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, on y va.
This is a short one and it just says, Carlo man, nice man, but replied, ya cunt you to everything. Couldn't do a second date.
Absolutely not. I couldn't do a first date. I couldn't do 5 minutes of a date with somebody whose vernacular extends as far as finishing every single sentence with, you cunt you.
Yeah, no. There was a guy I was messaging years ago who would just put ha 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 on every message.
Oh. Yeah.
And it drove me up the wall. At one point I said, what are you laughing at? What was funny? And then he went, I don't know. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. I suppose though, if they're typing it, it's one thing. But if you're on a date with some lad and you're like, yeah, so, into hobbies. Yeah, I do a bit of running. Oh, fair play to you, cunt you. Yeah. I actually did a charity run there a few weeks ago. Did 17k in the afternoon. Did fair play to you, cunt you. Yeah, for my nana. She has alopecia and breast cancer. All right. You cunt you. Yeah, Magda. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no, I don't know. People, I don't know. They just use language in just a ridiculous way. This is another one, and it says, told me he wouldn't touch the chili oil with his fingers in case it would burn me later.
For fuck's sake.
I mean, that's hedging your bets, mate.
It's just insane.
Like, sometimes your inner thoughts do not need to make it down to your mouth. Or your fingers.
Or your fingers.
Yeah.
Also, surely you'd wash the mitts in one of those little finger bowls.
That should tell you everything you need to know as well.
Before you finger hole, you have to use the finger bowl. Do you know what I mean?
Put it on a t-shirt and sell it immediately.
There
That's
you go.
Brilliant.
Justgoodstuff.ie. Like, it's... Surely you don't say that to somebody on a first date. It's preposterous.
Have you ever put your foot in it with any first date that you've been?
I tend to use the fingers first, mate.
Yeah.
Have I ever put my foot in it?
Yeah. Have you ever said something that you didn't mean to say that just kind of came out of your mouth?
All the time.
Okay.
All the time. I mean, but I frequently do that. Even at the live show at the Olympia, I made one gag that was just like, it went down complete howler.
Okay.
So
it's always the best ones, isn't it?
I was telling a story about my... it's a story about me losing passports, right?
Okay.
Then I just sort of said, I was like, yeah, geez, let's just say I had more of a laissez-faire approach to passports than Leo Varadkar whenever Russia first invaded the Ukraine.
And it went down well?
Do silence. Complete radio silence. I was like, really? 200,000, Leo? Ah, yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll get us loads of retweets. Could hear a pin drop.
Oh, no.
Sort of like now.
Okay.
So I still think it's a funny enough gag,
I'm
but
just trying to figure out what laissez-faire means. But that's just me, Mark. That's just me.
Okay, on y va.
First date after my separation. He said he wouldn't have wings as they'd torch his hole.
No, you just it's not something that you would ever say to a human being on a date. Or if I was with my friends, I wouldn't go, do you know what, lads, I'm not going to go for the wings just because it will torch my hole. Just order the Caesar salad. Don't talk about your hole, torched or otherwise.
I think there's a reason as well that person probably stayed single as long as it took you to get a divorce.
100%.
That's just crazy.
Oh my God.
These people should be on First Dates Ireland. This is the TV I want to watch.
Think about that. Your first night out, you've been divorced, you've been through the ringer, you've been through a fucking troubled marriage, and you finally made your escape and you're ready for it to be over and to start your new life again. You get all dolled up, you find someone to look after the kids, you have a chat with your sort of Emma Thompson-esque reassuring older sister who says, you know, you can do this, you've got that lovely scarf. I know you haven't felt sexy in a while, but you know, you're going to go out and you get your lovely Hermes cologne that you don't usually wear. You save it for special occasions, and tonight is a special occasion. You get a taxi, you go into town, you sit down, and this absolute muck savage says, yeah, when we're getting the wings there, they'll be torching me hole. Good stuff. I'm over. It's over. I'm going to get a fucking electric toothbrush and hang out by myself for an hour, and that'll be my Saturday night, because this is a disaster.
Mark Megan's Weekly Roast. Proudly supported by Cialis for Men. Struggling with erectile dysfunction? It's nothing to be ashamed of. Cialis for Men 10mg film-coated tablets, which contains tadalafil, is now available without prescription. Just a quick, discreet chat with your pharmacist, in person or online, can help. Find it at pharmacies nationwide or visit www.cialisformen.ie for more details. To be taken at least 30 minutes prior to anticipated sexual activity. Always read the label.